Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 114, Nashville Bound. How's everybody doing today?
I am doing great, fantabulous. Had an interesting Wednesday today. Got a couple of calls that I thought were interesting, but other than that, doing great on my wonderful Wednesday route. How's everybody else doing?
Charles, was it mainly telemarketers from India?
Oh, no, you didn't. Cling!
Hey, I got one of those earlier. I was at work and I got a voicemail and it was a private number. Oh, your computer security is expired. You want to get you a refund or whatever? And I was like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I attempt to have phone sex with those people. Doesn't matter what gender they are. I have phone sex with them. I got a few good recordings.
Wow. So were people on the call to, hey, hi, I'd like to speak to Liz. This is Sexy Meow Meow, and I'm just calling in regards to the account that you opened with us the other day. Are you still interested in?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a visual right there.
And I just got up to turn the lights off. Whoever's live, I'm not getting lotion.
Yeah. Okay. That just confirms you're getting lotion.
Thank you. I just had to put that out there.
You saying you're not getting lotion confirms that you were in fact getting lotion.
No. You see what I'm holding a lit up LED water canister.
I didn't realize lotion, moved that freely and that you could drink it just like that.
It's water based.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah. Tell us more. So interesting stuff. So how's everybody else's Wednesday going? Everybody having fun, enjoying themselves, besides the calls and everything else?
Go down the line.
I'm back in the wonderful state of Kentucky.
Sweet!
Where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Hey, just make sure you don't go do any stump training.
Yeah. So any hacker cons coming up, Adrian?
Well, I think I'm going to stop by B-Sides Nashville. They're not recording this year, so I'm going to be hanging out in the Lockpick Village, helping out there. And then
nice.
I got B-Sides Charm coming up with you here in a bit.
Well, they got back to me. They said they're kind of full right now with volunteers. So they did tell me that. Jacqueline? Yes, she did let me know, but she said she'll let me know if something opens up.
Cool.
So, yeah. And then don't forget, I just want to remind everybody that Derby Day is coming up May 4th. So
it is coming up.
You want to be ready to get your tickets now because, as you know, this is the last Derby Con, and you don't want to be without a ticket. You don't want to miss this event at all. So put that on your calendars, May 4th, Derby Day. I'm not sure at what time the tickets will go on sale, but I would recommend booking your room now.
According to the website, it's supposed to be at noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern? All right. So you heard it here first. Noon Eastern, Derby Day, May 4th. Let's rock out or be left out. Boom.
In previous years, he usually opened up 15 minutes early, but I think starting 2 years ago, he stopped that.
Yes.
It sold out before it was supposed to open.
Yes. So Derby Day, May 4th.
And last year sold out in what, 12 seconds?
Something really fast.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to arrange a replacement event.
Yeah.
Oh, for Louisville?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely keep us posted on that. And, as you know, we're here to support any way that we can because I love the city of Louisville and would still like to keep coming there.
Yeah, it might be on the Indiana side of the river just for price reasons, but we'll see what I can figure out.
And so Adrian doesn't have to pay the toll.
I don't blame him. Tolls suck.
Well, you don't have to pay the toll if you go across the 2nd Street Bridge or if you go across Sherman Mitchell.
Or the Sherman Midden, or you take the CSX rail bridge, but
You can take that?
If you're walking.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
No, you can drive across it if you have the key, like I do.
Nice.
Well, that's right. Jack does have the key to the city.
That's right. That's what happens whenever you're Batman.
That man is borderline mayor.
No.
Woo! Go ahead. I feel honored to be blessed in the privilege of borderline mayor tonight. So,
Okay.
without further ado, let's get into some
No.
juicy stuff.
We're not saying that yet.
Okay.
Who else is doing good tonight? Darren, you doing good?
Yeah, about the same.
About the same? Okay.
I love Darren. Darren just put to the point. You be like, hey, Darren, is it raining outside? Yes.
Yeah, Darren's like a poster child for, straight lines.
Yeah. I was about to say yes. I love it, man.
Nice. Let's see, my week. My week was pretty good. I've been getting a shit ton of calls from Russia. Just stupid amounts. So that's been fun.
Tell us more.
I haven't done anything in retaliation yet.
Good job.
Well, we'll see if I do. Okay, now you may go, Charles.
Now, without further ado, let's get into the breach report.
Nice.
Let's rock.
Okay, so first up, we have the maker of Arrow Garden. You guys familiar with Arrow Garden at all?
No. What is it?
So
Nothing.
I actually have 2 of these that I purchased probably over 10 years ago now. But it's a small box. You put your seeds down in it, and then water flows through. You put your nutrient packs in, and over time, and the seeds are in just a little bit of soil. And in the house, they have grow lights over them, and you start to have your, whatever small vegetables start to grow, or you can do like small fruits and things like that. But
So it's a hydroponic setup
yeah, it's a hydroponic setup. Yeah,
that people used to grow weed.
yeah, I'm sure some do. The way the Arrow Garden does it, you can't get it high enough to be able to do weed like all the way, full scale.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
You
true.
could
Baby steps.
Exactly. You could grow and transplant with it, but you can't do like full weed
Right.
with it. And I think it would that would be more expensive than anybody normally who's growing weed would ever want to invest.
No, hydroponics is pretty cost
Well,
effective, and it
Manufactured hydroponics, like do your own, is way cheaper. I mean,
And with less credit card breaches.
exactly. And way to take me back on topic. So they had a credit card breach. My wife is over here while we're live.
Hi.
She gave me that look.
Hey,
Everybody says hi.
Hey.
Because she wants to put on a cuckoo melon for our son to watch.
Awesome.
Any of you listening who have young 2 and below age children,
Yes.
they will love that, and you will hate it. It's wonderful, the horrible things that they watch. But yeah, so credit card data was stolen. They discovered it March 4th, and it happened between anybody who made payments through their website between October 29th of last year and March 4th. So about a 5-month run there. Next up, so everybody's familiar with Bayer.
Yes.
That tiny little company who makes aspirin and probably about 1,000 other things.
Yeah.
So
Well, I thought we were talking about bears and cubbies for a minute. Never mind, continue.
we can talk about bears and
Yeah.
cubbies. They are very cute. Or trash pandas.
But they're not better than Hedgies.
They are not better. And Hedgies, from what I saw, are about a size 3. Or, I mean, a size C.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
But German drug giant Bayer has been breached. They're attributing it to the hacking group Wicked Panda. Hey, speaking of pandas, which is based out of China. Who is looping? Okay, it stopped. Good. As we know, we've talked about multiple times. Attribution is difficult. Could have been Chinese. Somebody could have infiltrated Chinese servers and proxied off of them.
Right.
Hard to say. But the article is attributing it to them. But they were able to discover the breach, and they say they were able to contain the breach.
Okay.
And they haven't found if any sensitive data or anything else was accessed, or haven't found evidence that anything was accessed of a sensitive nature. So they may have contained it fairly well, but yeah, that's another one of those massive, great big, large companies getting popped. Next up, Georgia Tech. What happened with Georgia Tech? Oh yeah, data breach exposing 1.3 million people.
Mm.
And it all, well, they're saying it may have been due to a vulnerable web app. And compromised the personal info of 1.3 million. And let me see. It could have included critical details such as names, addresses, social security numbers, and birthdays. Access via a web app. That's beautiful. Next up, voter voice data leak. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that any of this data has been scoured and getting distributed throughout the internet, but we're going to assume that it has. So, Voter Voice is a organization that, let's see what they say here. Organizations that provide platforms for outreach, advocacy, and lobbying hold some of the most sensitive data information, blah, blah, blah. They have 21 million users and have sent 36 million messages since their inception. But this included just all kinds of information specifically around voting. So political parties, I think there was some campaign contribution related information, addresses, telephone numbers, just all the information you want to be able to start building up information about people and or groups. Okay, last up on the breach. Hi. This one is a fun one, and I actually threw the FireEye, their actual write-up in regard to this. FireEye was able to find that. You guys remember Triton from back a year and a half ago?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so Triton hit a petrochemical plant. I don't remember where it was.
I think it was Saudi Arabia.
Yes, it was Saudi Arabia. So Triton always reminded me a lot of Stuxnet. Not fully. Stuxnet was obviously way more complex, 40 days, fully signed valid certificates associated, to some of the software. But Triton reminded me of it. Plus Stuxnet didn't have any centralized command and control. It was once you release it, it's out in the wild and has to do its own thing. But Triton is similar, though, in its functionality and what its purpose is. So they have not identified what the second location is where they've detected Triton running and trying to move. But it's a really good write-up in regard to Triton that FireEye's done here. they go through, tools and TTPs, and they even mapped it to like the MITRE ATT&CK framework, and then they break down some of the code. So it's excellent write-up. And if you're interested in, kind of getting a little more deep in the weeds, I'd say check it out and make your way through it. And that is it for the breach report. Okay. Anybody got anything? Huh?
So I haven't been adding much to the show notes. I need to come up with more weird groups of the week because I enjoy doing those, but I've kind of ran out of groups. If anybody has some suggestions, like send me a message on Twitter or something.
Will do.
Charles could go out and just form his own new weird group, and then we could report on it.
Am I really that different?
There's this new alt centralist group called the Happy Hackers.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
I like that. But you should do that. The alt centralists.
Happy Hackers. I don't know, but I don't know any other. I mean, the other Happy Hackers. Who else is out there besides myself?
I mean, Blind Hacker could get in on some of that.
Oh,
he's happy at least half the time.
A lot of times he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the guy. He even goes by. He usually uses the term alt centrist or radical centrist.
Yes.
Guy on YouTube that goes by the handle some black guy. Don't give me shit. That's the name he chose for himself.
Is that really his name?
Some black guy. The man's real name is Derek. But he's like
okay.
But his handle is
his handle is some black guy.
Adrian's like, don't give me shit. Adrian.
I'm just saying.
Nah.
But
I thought you just didn't know what his handle was, and you were like some black guy.
That's the handle he chose.
Yeah.
Some African American guy.
But again, for those of you listening, again, things, like I said, what keeps me happy and grounded, I just try not to take, like today's Wednesday. I don't try to take Wednesday into Thursday. Everything that happened on Wednesday stays on Wednesday.
Exactly. One day at a time.
One day at a time. And I guarantee you'd be surprised how that helps improve your mindset, your life in general, by just taking one day at a time. And regardless of anything, whether it was good or bad that happened the day before, leave it in the day before, because again, you don't want it affecting, your present state. So,
and what also helps with that a lot, to not drag yesterday into today.
What's that?
A good night's sleep.
That too, yes. Now, sleep, and this is a true statement. Sleep in our industry is a very hard thing to come by.
Yes.
And we kind of have to pick and choose. I mean, for me, I take naps, and I'll take naps here and there sometimes. And again, what's that?
So you have a problem going to sleep like your brain's working on something and you won't shut up? Going and going? Yeah,
I have that issue. Especially if I'm working on something and my brain won't turn off. It'll keep going. It's like a little... It looks like the cog wheel in Castlevania 3 when the pirate is climbing up the clock tower. Weird. That's what plays in my mind. But the little ticking sound.
I used to always have that issue. But then I found, because my brain would start thinking about all kinds of things. But what I found, there is one game that I play, and you're not supposed to do cell phones in bed, blah, blah, blah. But there's one game I play before I go to bed.
Candy Crush?
No, that's my wife. I play. You guys remember Othello? I think
yes. Classic game.
Yeah. So I play Othello on my phone. It's basic enough. Like, I have the intensity or the difficulty high enough that it's still challenging, but it's easy enough that you don't have to think a stupid amount about it. But it also gets me only thinking about one thing. And since I'm now focused and only thinking about one thing, my brain starts to mellow down, and me playing on there for 20 minutes, once I put my phone down and plug it in for the night, I'm out within 5 minutes.
That's what I'm talking about. And,
But that's worked for me. May work for somebody else out there too.
And also what helps is check out the posts on Twitter from the Mental Health Hackers group. They do have some really good tips sometimes when they post like different tips and tricks on far as like sustaining your mental. And you'd be surprised what you could pick up there, especially if it's like good yoga tips or if there's good, suicide prevention hotline, just different things that can help improve your life.
Or if you did yoga and now you want to call, or now you need to call that hotline.
I mean that too. If that's the case, yeah. Whatever works.
I got stuck in a pose and I can't get out.
I think the moral of the story is the best way to really get through. The best way to really get through something is to get involved in something, whether it's like knitting, whether it's cooking, and even if you like me, I'm passionate about tech. I'll play old school video games, or I'll get into something mechanical keyboarding, which I've overstayed my welcome in the mechanical keyboarding arena, as Jack would tell you. I have too many keyboards. But yeah, it's just best to get involved with something. And right now, I've been spending a lot of time doing SecBSD, so that's been insanely helpful. I mean, we've been trying all kinds of stuff and learning. I've been learning a lot more about OpenBSD than I ever really thought I would.
And that is a good point. Mm-hmm. If you have a major thing that you're having difficulties with, try to do some small things in between where you're getting wins, from a mental status. That'll help.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, these are things that help tremendously. Exercise, getting out and just enjoying the air. Everybody, it's springtime now. I know allergies suck. Even if you got to wear a gas mask, just get out and just walk around. Lube up those joints by just walking around. There's your lube right there for your joints, and of course, some good old fashioned ice water.
Or if it's in Charles's case, Charles breaks out the lotion.
That too, that can lube it up. But yeah, but you definitely just want to get out and just have fun. The weather's getting nicer now, and I want to put this out there, whether you feel, because I had a conversation with one of my good friends the other day, and he's not happy about the springtime because he feels like his body is not where it wants to be. And I'm like, dude, put a shirt on and just go. Just get out there and go. Regardless what you feel, you look like, doesn't matter. Just get out there and just enjoy yourself. Who cares what other people think?
I need to start getting out there more. I've been several days since I've been to the gym, and I need to get the hell out.
Yes, just get on out.
Just a shirt, or do I have to wear pants too?
Pants too, or shorts, whatever you prefer. Get on your balcony, just have fun. And like I said, just get out there, go to a movie, go hang out, call some friends that you haven't talked to in a while. Call and hang out with them. See if you can go visit them need be. If whatever it takes to put you in a different state of mind where you're not constantly stressed. Because I see it every day with people that I work with. They're stressed out a lot. And just looking, just seeing what they go through and the stuff that they talk about and how they look when I have a conversation with them, it just reassures me that your mental state, if your mind is correct, then everything else falls into place. But if your mind is not correct, or if your mind tells you, hey, if I'm sick, then you're just sick. Your mind controls all of this stuff. So again, it's not coffee that wakes you up in the morning, it's your attitude. If you wake up with the attitude that life sucks, guess what? The day's going to suck because it's the energy that you're putting out there.
Yep.
But if you just take a second and just, when you wake up in the morning and just say, take a deep breath, just and then no matter what your situation is or whatever, you're going through, just take that deep breath and just say, you know what? I'm going to start from here. It's no different than and for me, in my case, my daughter, when she makes a big like mess with all the Lego blocks and stuff, now I'm just taking the bag,
Or the
patiently taking the
lotion.
bag, that too, the lotion too. So I'm taking the bag or the napkin to wipe the stuff up and clean up the mess. But I'm taking it one block or one wipe at a time. And you look up and the mess is all cleaned up and it's the floor or whatever is restored back to its original state that you wanted it in. So same thing with life and your mind. Just, take it one thing at a time. Just have fun. It's not a race. And I want to point this out too. And I noticed, I've noticed this a lot, especially in like InfoSec and just seeing it on Twitter too. Stop counting your certs. Stop cert counting. Seriously, like I see people, and I'm just calling it like it is. I'm seeing a lot of people counting certs out here, and I just want you to know that it's not a race. Pick something that you want to do, that you like to do, and just focus your energy and time on it. Don't look at the next man or woman and say, oh my God, they have the ITIL, they have the PMP, they have the CISSP. Okay, I need to race and get that. Because you'll forever be on the digital hamster wheel and you won't know where to get off, because now you're running over here, now you're running over there. You see somebody else do something, now you want to become that. Pick something that you like, focus on that, maybe do a talk on it, and you'd be surprised. You look up one day and you become very knowledgeable. Yes, an individual.
Don't try to be somebody else.
No, that's the worst thing you can do is try to be somebody else. The first thing, like, perfect example, I wake up in the morning and like I said, I started just doing positive tweets. And then I said, you know what? We're in the age of video. So I wanted to make it more live. And that's why I started doing the videos in the first place. I didn't do it for likes. I didn't do it for anyone else. I just did it because I wanted to help somebody else feel better about their self, about their day, or maybe give them some words of encouragement. That's the only reason I did it.
Yeah, if you ever see Charles at a con, make sure to go up and hug him because he hates that.
Oh, you know what? I accept all cash, credit, and hugs.
And he charges for him too.
No, I don't.
But he is cuddly.
But so
no comment.
Oh my goodness. If you see me at a con, please feel free. Just, I am approachable and I can have a conversation with anyone all day. Yep.
That's right.
So, that's right. Self high five. Cling. I was watching WCW earlier.
Oh, yeah.
With DDP. Also, he does yoga, by the way, too, DDP. So anybody that's into yoga, you can check out the DDP yoga.
What's DDP short for?
Diamond Dallas Page yoga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I saw a couple of his videos. I think they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, doesn't he have... That's like something he sells right now, right?
Yes. Yeah, he sells that. But yeah, I saw a couple of the same. I thought, okay, DDP.
Yeah, isn't it like hot yoga or something like that?
Hot yoga, cold yoga, just yoga. Another way I found that was through... Now, yes, he does hot yoga. But the way I found that was Jake the Snake had tweeted it out one time. And I'm a huge Jake the Snake Roberts fan. And I was like, oh, what's this? DDP doing what? Oh, here we go.
Oh,
that's how I found it.
Did you see his interview with Joe Rogan?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Really good.
How was it?
That is some good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I got to check that out. Yeah.
I now know more about because of him. I know more about Andre the Giant's bowel movements than I really need to know.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that interview. That interview. That was enough for me. I'll never look at a hotel tub the same again. Yes.
What's funny was I knew that story about him and Jake the Snake going or driving to the next venue or whatever, and him just cramming entire case the entire drive, and it was like a 2-hour drive or something like that. And he just gets up and he's like, "Yep, nope, I'm good." Holy crap!
That was how much was fucking Andre the Giant weigh there towards the end? He was huge.
I don't know. Before my time.
Yeah, but I mean, what about Andre the Giant? What did you
But
do?
You was talking about how much booze he drank and not get drunk. But I mean, how big was that guy? He was
like 500 something pounds, 7 foot.
7'5" at his max. It says he was 520 pounds.
Yes.
21-inch arms. A 71-inch waist.
And
Holy crap.
Yeah, I got lucky to see him as a kid. I got to go to the WrestleMania 3 when he went against Hulk Hogan. So that was
really?
Yeah, I was at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan's big, and I've seen pictures of Andre next to him, and Hulk Hogan looks like, a 13-year-old standing next to me.
That that was my my birthday present. So at the Silver Dome, one and only time. Yeah.
What's funny is I'm looking at blood alcohol content charts, and the maximum weight I'm seeing is 240 pounds.
Yeah, we literally exceeded that. It's just crazy. But the sad part is, he said a lot of people just used to make fun of him at the airport. They treated him like he wasn't a human being. So that's what
I wonder.
Yeah.
What was his waist?
I don't know, but
his waist size. You said 71 inches.
No, that was his chest.
Oh, that's his chest. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't say what his waist was, but I'm just wondering if he was so big that, whenever he flew, that he had to have like 2 seats and put the armrests up, stuff like that.
you totally need that with Andre.
Question: was he married?
I don't believe so, but I believe he did have a child. He had
a daughter, Robin.
It doesn't list marriage on his quick Wikipedia bio. Yeah, I know he had a daughter. Yeah.
Oh wow! Dark Owl said, "Oh no shit! I bought pillows with Macho Man Randy Savage. Strange day. Wow. Okay, Dark Owl, talk to us. Ooh, yes, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Bonesaw coming at you.
Yeah. I mean, Dark Owl, me and him going together. Yeah.
That guy got huge before the end, because I remember the last thing I remember seeing him in was that the first Spider-Man film that was directed.
That's what the Bonesaw line is from.
That's right, Randy Poffo. His brother was Leaping Land. No, the Genius. His brother was the Genius that played the Genius character in the WWF.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Now, what did he end up dying of? Was it coming a heart problem? Or?
Yeah, he had a heart attack in 2011. Yeah.
Words would cause that kind of problem. I mean, I had some friends. They were all arguing for the longest time on Facebook about BMI. And yes, BMI is direct measure. It's kind of bullshit because it doesn't take into account muscle mass. When you get to a certain size muscularly, being muscular is better than being fat. But there's a certain point where you get so extreme that it's still a problem for your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're just pumping blood. Well, especially for, whenever you're really, really tall, you're pumping that much blood such a further distance.
Guys, Macho Man has an album.
No.
Not kidding.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a hip-hop album.
A lot of people I used to watch when I was a kid wrestling have passed away. Andre's gone. Macho Man Randy Savage is gone. Roddy Piper's gone. Who else?
Nikolai Volkov.
Oh, I can't remember that one.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Oh, he's gone? Okay.
Yeah, he's dead.
Isn't Lou Ferrigno dead?
Yeah. No, he's not dead.
No, he's not? Oh, okay, cool. I thought he was. Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno wasn't WWF, was he?
Yeah, no.
He was the Hulk. He was incredible.
He was the Hulk.
He was the Hulk. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Who else? Was Ultimate Warrior.
Lou Albano did pass away, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's dead. Lou Albano.
Yeah, Lou Albano. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit?
Elizabeth passed away.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, she died over a drug overdose. Hey, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, she's got the lotion. I wish I was still into wrestling, but it's kind of died off for me after like the end of what was it, the Age of Destruction or whatever. Once that was done,
so I stopped watching like in the early '90s because my brother still likes the stuff, and he deep down he knows it's all fake, but he won't admit it to you.
It's always fun to go. What's fun is to go back and watch old fights that you watched live, and you're like, oh, there it is, yes. Still just super fun, super nostalgia trip.
Nice.
That's how I knew who Batista was before he became before he started doing movies. He was my favorite wrestler. I've got an action figure of him somewhere.
Oh, don't lie. It's sitting on a pillow right next to your head.
Yeah, that and Chris Angel. Because I bought it in a set. I used to have I had the Cage toy. So the Cage match toy.
Like Nicolas Cage?
No. We had the Cage match set. And it came with Batista and Chris Angel.
Huh. I didn't realize they were still selling those in 2012.
Chris Angle? Chris Angle. Yeah. No, they're still selling them, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They're still selling wrestling toys.
Nice.
I wouldn't. You got... you still got Randy Orton. You still got John... no, he retired. I can guarantee you the most bought one now is probably Ronda Rousey. Because now she's in the WWE.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you suck at UFC once there's any other competitors.
Okay. So there's a certain point. So when she won that fight, everyone went after her. The next two fights she had, she got completely rocked.
Annihilated. Yes.
Yeah. She got she got really beat up.
And that's because whenever she was coming on the scene, there really wasn't a fully, categorized out thing for women. And she just kind of appeared and was like, oh, crap, well, we need women to fight her.
Yeah.
And because she,
went a little too far.
Yeah, she was still selling tickets, but all of a sudden, all these other women realize, oh, well, this is now a thing. I could go fight UFC. And the women who have been training Ronda had been training for years, but there's other women who have been doing that too, just didn't have the opportunity like she did to go straight up. And then once you start actually getting competition in there, then the ship sinks pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the same way with what's McGregor right now? What's he his normal weight? I know he bounces around.
Oh, isn't he in the 140s?
He's middleweight, I think.
150, somewhere in that range.
That's weird because I weigh more than he. I'm also
you're taller.
Yeah, I'm taller than he is.
But with McGregor, McGregor's never going to be number one in the UFC in any weight category.
Well, he is.
I don't think he is.
You see any fight with McGregor, that is going to be the one that sells out and one that he will actually. He's a two-time.
But you know why it'll sell out though? It's his mouth and the promotion around it.
Right, and he's also a decent fighter.
Yeah, decent, but I'm not going to say he's a great fighter though.
I guess he's got a little bit of that Muhammad Ali thing going on. He can definitely throw out the trash talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He can also throw stuff through bus windows. Ugh, that was a bad thing. No, but they're even in that division, the only one there's only a couple people that have really been that I would think have been able to even stand up to him is Nate Diaz, also a guy who likes to run his mouth.
Yeah.
And Khabib, the last guy he just fought.
Yeah.
That's it. Two guys out of that entire class. It's nuts.
Yeah, I didn't realize he actually did.
JSP and okay, so Connor, because if he fought JSP, that would be
Yeah, I was wrong. You were right. He did get lightweight championship a couple times, but they've now been stripped from him. since he hasn't been fighting to keep it up.
Right. So like he had it, and that was it. And he had a. Have you seen what he looks like as a lightweight? It's scary. Like he looks anorexic almost.
Yeah, yeah, because featherweight was the championship that he actually won. Oh wait, so he won featherweight and lightweight.
So yeah, so
he's
a lightweight,
and that was back in like 2015, and right. Yeah, in 2016 featherweight was stripped due to inactivity. 2018 lightweight was stripped due to inactivity. So
yeah, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it goes featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, heavyweight. Right?
Yeah.
What is bantamweight?
What?
Bantamweight.
They don't have that in box. That's boxing side. I don't remember. Boxing has like 15 different weight categories, though.
I thought they had a bantamweight in UFC.
I think they do too.
So do they?
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Are you sure? They made for women's. Do they for men?
So they have featherweight, flyweight, welterweight. Wait, what the? No. Question mark. So you have strawweight, flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight, and then I want to see an ultra heavyweight. No, there's two guys that I think there's one guy in the UFC that I think would actually be a good fight, but McGregor would have to go up a weight class. Would be if he went into welterweight and fought George St. Pierre, yeah, GSP. Yeah. That would be either a good fight or a very one-sided fight. Because GSP is a killer on the ring.
I kind of miss some of our older fights though too, where you had like Randy Couture and Iceman, and just some of those, because those were, I feel like, more knockdown drag, and they had been fighting each other for the last like 8-10 years, type of thing. Right. I feel like a lot of the guys are getting in, getting money, getting out now. I mean, but like George St. Pierre, he's been around quite a while.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, McGregor, he's been around somebody. He doesn't hardly ever fight, but yeah. The good old days. Okay, guys, want to hit some vulnerable stuff?
Let's hit show notes or whatever we're at.
Yeah, we're at vulnerable stuff.
Okay. I haven't read anything.
I know. Someday you'll learn how to read. We're all looking forward to that.
I can write, but I can't read. It's weird.
That is weird. I agree. So a hacking group has been hijacking DNS traffic on D-Link home routers for the last 3 months. So essentially they're intercepting the DNS traffic, and whenever you make a call or make a request, they're putting in their own malicious IP address as the lookup, from the found lookup IP, and then delivering that back down into the home users. So whenever you go to, say, google.com, you end up going to google.com in the address bar, but it's actually a malware-laden website on the back end that you're actually going to. And has it been patched? That's a good question, Israel. Let's see. The article that we threw in here has the different model numbers. And let's see.
It's not doing a DNS hijack. It's just routing all of your DNS queries through that, or what's it? What's the impact?
Yeah, all your DNS queries are being rerouted through that.
But what's the impact of that?
You get malware on your end system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remote access achieved via DNS reroute. Nice. Well,
Yeah,
not nice. Smart, but not
nice.
right. Nice.
I'm not seeing that a patch has been put out or anything, as well as they didn't say if the attackers are using persistence or if a hard reboot can kill them off. So yeah, if you have one of these models, listed in the article, just keep an eye out over the next few days, as well as they did address. Oh wait, here we go. DNS settings have already been compromised. They have the IP addresses, so if you see any traffic being routed to one of these 4 IP addresses, your router has been compromised, and users need to upgrade their router's firmware as soon as possible. So there is a patch out.
So if you work in a SOC, copy, paste into a notepad for tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope there's no enterprise that would be using these as a router.
Well, here's the
and honestly too, if you work in a SOC, I do not expect mom and pops who may be using these to be utilizing a SOC.
Right, but you could have, per se, someone like at a desk in like a shared facility will have that like from one port onto their desk.
Yeah, and then run their little hidden network behind it. Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of ways to do it. I mean, if you have this stuff, definitely look into it. But
yeah, that's always fun whenever you're in an enterprise setting. Monitoring the firewall. You utilize, say, on your DMZ 172.16 for all your regular stuff. You're using a 10 dot, and you don't use 192 anywhere. And all of a sudden, you're seeing 192 traffic coming out your firewall. And yeah, that's not within any of your routing tables. That's always cool.
That's when you use a VPN.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Good.
I've never had to encounter that in the past.
Good to know. Now when I go on physical engagements, I'm bringing just a network thing because then there won't be any rules. Yay!
I mean, you'll web filters will hit you. IDS and IPS is almost exclusively inbound. Yeah, have fun.
You think they are?
Oh no! Whenever people set them up, hardly anybody actually sets up intrusion prevention or detection to monitor outbound traffic.
That's what I was getting at too.
Yeah. I mean, it's absurd. Okay, next up, another router. I was on a kick for routers this week. Verizon has patched their FiOS or FiOS. I don't know how they pronounce it.
FiOS.
Yeah, FiOS routers to address 3 security flaws. I think these did allow for remote codecs.
Let's take a look. I'm going to watch this video the demo real quick, and I will tell you. So it goes to one. Actually, screw it.
Actually, no. They are saying in here, according to the breakdown of the bones, they would most likely require someone to be connected on the local network itself, unless remote administration is enabled on the router. And that's a good thing to remember. Firewalls, routers, everything, always disable and never enable remote administration. Do your shit within your own network. Don't do it when you're on the fly elsewhere, or VPN into your network and then do it internally.
Yeah, so the point, perform command injection. You should get that. Okay, so I just had to watch the video real quick, and I'm gonna throw it up on screen here.
Woohoo! Show and tell.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do here. All right, can you guys still see the video, or is it still just the?
I can see video.
Okay, is it full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So what's happening here is in this terminal, he has a netcat listener running 1444, and then he's doing an injection command that is essentially doing whatever the vulnerability is. So some sort of command injection, either via buffer overflow or something like that. That then will do command injection to run netcat back to this port on that it's running on the same machine. Now, since this is running on local, he can do it all from this one spot. But if there is remote execution or remote administration enabled on your router, it will then, yeah. Hopefully, you don't have that like on the external net.
But I want to administrate it from my phone.
But you can just not be dumb.
Yeah.
Or or at that point, only have it administrated from a VPN with something. There's ways around that. You wouldn't just put it out on the wire out on external.
Yeah.
Even something simple as using a remote desktop tool like Chrome Remote Desktop or TeamViewer for those who's not going to be sophisticated enough to set up a VPN, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, Raul's got a good point there too. Yeah, doing something like like you said, TeamViewer, log me in.
Yeah, something that goes through a third-party mediary.
Yeah, but even then, there's still some things with that. But I mean,
yeah, there is, but
works.
At least that's
much better than enabling remote administration. I have my trepidation about that too. I use a VPN, but
yeah.
I mean, because there's a lot of like primarily home cameras, but I've seen them enterprise side too. That from your phone, you just go straight to whatever your external IP is, and you can access the camera. Shodan loves that. But then there's also other cameras that are mainly for home use that go to a centralized server, and then you connect to that centralized server, made by whatever manufacturer. That's how Nook and I can't remember all these others off the top of my head.
For cameras,
FlearFX does that, and I believe even some of the Chinese ones that are becoming more common on Amazon do that also.
But like, what's the one that Amazon owns now?
Nest.
Nest.
Yeah, Nest. Like Nest does that.
Yeah,
it goes out to a centralized place where you then authenticate to the centralized place, and now you can pull the feed. So
I have two things. One, if you want to learn more about this, there's a talk from Wild West Hacking Fest from this year about it's called Hack Smart or Smarter or Gooder, not Harder or something like that. I don't remember. It was a good title, but he talks about camera security and that, and how it's down to, because it's a stripped down Linux, you can do some things that you don't think you could do on a normal Linux system. The other thing too, remember back, oh my gosh, I think it was back in November last year. It was October and November last year when we were covering the NUU2 camera bug where there was an RCE to their remote management system. And that wasn't to a camera itself. That was to like their command and control
entire infrastructure. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's enterprise level stuff.
Yep.
So cameras,
they can still be hacked. Like, I'm definitely not saying that is a safe way to do it, but it is safer.
Yeah. It's all about access control. Basically, who is able to have access to it, when are they able to have access to it, and how are they able to have access to this?
Yeah. That's right.
Who and how. And what is it? It's a camera. Okay. If that camera starts doing things weird.
We just got our college schooling from Caprico. Woo!
Yeah, I've been on a lot of who, what, when, and stuff because had explain what Risk was to our GRC team, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, whatever.
Ah.
It's fine.
So, side note, one of my buddies is looking for, he just accepted a new, high-level position, is looking for a CyberArk engineer implementation person who wants to do some traveling.
Wait, you said CyberArk?
Yes.
Okay.
And, that's the exact same thing I told him. But just in case anybody is listening and you actually really like CyberArk, he's having a hell of a time trying to find somebody. Reach out to me, Fitty me, F1TYM1 on Twitter.
Hey,
And,
I've helped install it.
Yeah,
So,
I've installed it. I've been the primary on it multiple years in the past. I can't stand it, and I told him there in snowball's chance in hell I'll ever do it again. But I told him I'll be more than happy to see if there's anybody.
Pawn that off to anyone else. But no, if you got the skills,
exactly,
go for it. I
mean, if you got the skills, and maybe there is that one person out there who actually likes it. It is probably going to be incredibly lucrative. So, like,
if you got the skills to pay the bills, you should go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely make some good bank, it sounds like, with this, just because there's so few people who, one, will even touch it, and two, are any good at it.
And that's something that we're not having it with CyberArk, but we're having it with some of our products as well. We're having to hire people just for the fact that they have that expertise with that.
Yeah.
Skill. And we're having to pay out to like train our engineers to actually be able to use it. Which,
because CyberArk is such a difficult product, and the reason it is so difficult is because they support everything. Like, there are 20-plus-year-old systems that CyberArk will still support in a PAM solution. I mean, it's like, holy crap, 20 years. Honestly, there is stuff that is 35 years old now that I can think of that they still support.
So it's still supporting like IBM Z.
Yeah, all the old crap, AS400s, all that stuff.
400?
Yeah.
I think that existed before I existed.
Yes, it did. And they still support it.
It's still out there.
Yeah. Heavily in manufacturing, they're still out there because it was such a major capital investment, and they have so much data, production parts and this and that still stored on it.
And some large government systems with the DB2 database.
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts.
You can't see my eyes right now, but just look at Raul's picture. That's about how big they got.
Nice.
Mine have gotten so big in my picture that they're just gone. Popped out of my head. Oh man.
Oh, in the government, they're big, and you have 3270 emulators to access them.
Yep.
I hear the whimpering.
I'm not on defense. I'm on offense. I love hearing this kind of stuff, but come on.
Yeah. And two, they are perfect for, going straight into, and then being able to pivot off of those into a Windows environment. I mean, they're beautiful for that.
Yeah, because they're, I'm assuming they're at the base a Unix system.
Yes. Yeah. And so you can still run a lot of the Unix commands that you're familiar with. You can still run them straight on there.
Right. Well, those are, so we're still talking about the ASA 400s, right?
Yeah, the AS400.
And those are the, if I'm remembering correctly, because I am not an engineer, I just attack things. Those are firewalls, correct?
No,
they're mainframes.
Yeah,
they're mainframes.
Yeah, they're mainframes.
Okay, cool. All right, that makes
like the
way
it's
more
like
sense.
the IBM I series is an example of AS400s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I used to work off of one of them too.
Ew.
Did you guys ever? Speaking of, since we're on mainframes, did you ever see the kid that bought a mainframe and put it in his house?
To heat it?
No, he had it as a project, and he did a talk on it at I think it was MIT, and it was titled "What Was I Thinking When I Bought a Mainframe?"
That is the best question. Yes.
Or something on that. I think his name is Connor Richards on Twitter. Real smart kid.
Wait, you're calling him a kid?
Yeah, he's younger than I am.
Holy crap! So
Yeah.
was he up there with his mom?
No, he was in high school. He was in high school when he did the talk.
Okay.
He was he's a couple years younger than me.
Was he still breastfeeding?
Are you?
If I could.
Every chance you get.
Off your mom's titties, yeah, I am.
Fuck you all.
Hey, Cappy, you know what? I'll see you at DerbyCon. The first time you're out without adult supervision. So hey, good job.
Never gets old.
Good. That's why we still do it.
It will at some point. Trust me. It'll stop.
Israel, that was good. I'm gonna be like old and gray, and you guys are gonna be still being like, "Damn kid, get off my lawn!"
Yeah, someday I'll be up to 60, yelling at kids to get off my lawn, then realize no, it was Cappy trying to drink his first beer at 21.
Shut up! I'm not 3.
Oh shit, I'm 33, and I sometimes act that way. Anyways, I'm fucking old. I feel like a fucking old guy sometimes.
Fuck you, I'm 44.
Well, see, Adrian, I act like an old guy. You are an old guy. There's a difference there.
I got the gray pubes to prove it too.
No.
Hey, I've already started getting gray beard hair, so don't start with me on that one. Yeah.
Demonetized.
Yeah, he can shave them off and mail them to you if you like, just for proof.
Okay, for the love of God, if this ever comes up at DerbyCon, we are not doing Adrian's pubes.
I can braid them into a friendship bracelet.
No.
I don't know. They're probably twice as long as his beard was.
No. You can just imagine, like, no. No.
There was a silence throughout the world.
No. We are not doing that. If any of you guys,
I mean, Mary's got some sheep shears.
I will cut my hair first before we do that.
Oh, so that's how we get you to do it.
God damn it. But no.
Okay, so where are we at in the show notes?
We are moving on to other stuff. Unless somebody has anything they want to talk about before other stuff.
So I posted a question on Twitter, and Darren, I know you commented on it. Let me just pull it up here. I asked a poll.
That's what he said.
Shush. I asked a question on Twitter of whether or not technical details should be put out put out with an article. So like when we go through the breach report, when we're reading those articles, not a lot of the times that we read them are they something either specific towards a certain product or towards like what was actually executed on it. Like, was it cross-site scripting? How were they fish? What did the fish look like? What kind of software was or devices? Were those devices end of life? Like all of that. And I thought it would be a good conversation piece for the podcast too. Darren and I had a little bit of a back and forth on it. I'm for that, but that's more from a research side. But I got a lot of no's, or I got mostly depends. So I gave three answers: yes, no, and it depends. Most of it depends on the situation.
That's because everybody realizes you actually do need an adult diaper.
Okay. Otherwise, what's your guys' opinion? Other than the fact that I need an adult diaper, apparently.
Well, it depends. It's better than oops, I crap my pants.
No, not that. The question.
If anybody gets that reference. My view is yes. I think it would be nice if they were to release that information, but I can also see the flip side of why organizations would not want that information released. Because if you address one issue, there's a high probability that same type of issue, especially say cross-site scripting or SQL injection, that won't be the only instance where that is an issue. So where they addressed it for, one specific incident, they may need to then still address it for other incident or other areas that they haven't discovered yet. And so it could just bring on unneeded visibility. People already knowing how it occurred, how they could potentially manipulate that elsewhere.
Yep. And that was the point I made of why it should be a no, because it's basically giving free recon to an attacker. Because someone sees they're a target, they're going to try and target them again. And if you know that they got popped because, they didn't patch a 6-month-old vulnerability, well, what else have they patched? We may have other points of entry here we can take advantage of.
Yeah, and if it was a 6-month-old or even a 1 or however long old vulnerability, enterprise-wide, is this their standard? So if I wait 2 months and now hit another 6-month vulnerability, that's 2 months newer than the older one, maybe that one will be successful.
Right. So
it is a little bit of security by obscurity, which we all know how well that works. But it is still a good thing to do. It's even though it's not really giving it security, but it's not giving your attackers or potential attackers, ammunition to use against you.
Right. Like I see both sides of that too. It would be great from like a research side and even from a defensive side to say like, if you put out like, hey, our insert X product here got popped from this and we're getting rid of all of these and upgrading them because obviously we need to upgrade them if they're old, then other organizations will be like, oh, okay, cool. Glad it wasn't us, but we're going to be preemptive and move forward with that. That was my idea of it anyway. But I do understand that we saw that with Equifax. The minute that it said like Apache Struts was vulnerable, how many like other vulnerabilities that just like people on Twitter were just posting constantly, like the vulnerabilities that were there. Like even the vulnerability that was reported on was still there and not patched after they put the article out. But the Equifax disclosure was a complete cluster.
Oh yeah.
So that might be a bad example, but
a way that it could potentially work and work well is, say like with the FBI, and they aren't fully able to do this like with InfoGuard, even, but if there was kind of like a registered way of companies being able to register and then have whoever they decide have access into this system, say your company and, the red teamers are allowed in or something, but you guys use it for legal research-based purposes, and security administrators for various companies are allowed access in. Then whenever the issue is reported, they can go into more detail You know, it's like ISC Squared here in Columbus. At their chapter meetings, they do Chatham House rules. So you can speak about anything, you know, outside the walls even. Just you can't attribute source, you know, person or company. But you can discuss in as much detail as you have how a breach occurred, how somebody was, you know, gained access, whatever. You just can't attribute what company it is.
Right.
Or maybe they even go down that road of not listing a company name, but just the specific vulnerability and path of attack.
Right. And that I think would be good too. Like also putting out another thing to say, hey, like large breach of like
Yeah.
And ESXi vulnerable servers or whatever facing outward that were whatever.
Yeah, in that case, that's going to be hard to not say that it was. Yes. And, you know, yeah, I'm sorry, VMware, but you still had to get named since it was one of your servers. You know, that was the platform that was, you know, hit. But, yeah, I think something like that could potentially work. It would take a lot of work, and
I named them last week.
congratulations.
So they're already been named a lot this month. So something about the host browser taking over VMs.
Oh yeah. But I mean, once a news article touches it, it's free reign at that point.
Right.
Yeah. But from a research perspective, yeah, I could see benefit in that. And even like the FireEye one from tonight, you know, that they have not named the company yet. They've given details and information about it, but they have not named, you know, what country. We're assuming it's most likely Saudi Arabia again, maybe, but we don't necessarily know the country. If it was a petrochemical plant again, you know, they're just not forthcoming on those details. Just we know that another company is getting hit in a similar fashion as before.
But of course, depending upon the country, they may or may not be able to attribute it, because if it's a publicly traded company, for example, they're going to have to release an SEC press statement. So attribution at that point kind of goes out the window. You can't do those kinds of things with a public company. A private one, yeah, they don't have to do shit really, but you know, public one, they have to.
Yeah.
So
fun.
Cool. Raul, anything to add?
Not to that.
No, not to that. Other than that's absolutely correct about the publicly traded companies.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of them you won't see anything until they make their financial releases.
Well, even before they do their financial releases, they should, with something like that, it'd be material information they'd have to file, I believe, in 8K. But they could ask for confidentiality treatment.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
No, I can actually say firsthand that that's the case, because a previous employer of mine was popped using a WordPress vulnerability, and they had to do a big press release, and that became, you know, newsworthy. So yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, let's hit some other stuff. I threw Fin6 on here. Up until now, they were primarily injection into payment card sites and stealing credit card data, stuff like that. And now they've started leveraging ransomware. Do you guys remember? I did a quick look up and couldn't find it. You remember where Fin6 is working, like country-wise, where they're working out of? Because I don't.
6th Street in Finland. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fin 6.
Yeah, I know we talked about them a lot, probably about a year ago, or quite a bit. But
Fin
it's
6.
been quite a while.
Nope.
There we go. We don't know.
Yeah.
But they have modified tactics.
They use Metasploit. That's funny.
Yeah. It is. And then last thing, and this could be a discussion point. I threw it on here. The U.S. would never implement something like GDPR, right?
Well, U.S. federally or U.S. state-wise? Because state-wise, we're past that.
Federally.
Okay.
The article that I linked to, Equifax breach leads U.S. Senate to propose America draft its own GDPR.
I mean, that'd be a good thing.
It could be, but I laugh in the face of it because the minute that GDPR became a thing, the people that wrote it weren't following their own standards.
Yeah.
So, like shrug, like what?
And it's like with websites. Okay, so yeah, to be GDPR compliant, what do I need to do? You need to put a thing on your site so that the end user can accept cookies. Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah. Huh.
Well, it's also how you store and
I mean, yeah,
do data in the back end. So
yeah,
the front end work is simple, but the back end work is the fucking hard part.
But even if you don't store anything, and say you do clear like that, it just annoys me.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to them trying to push legislation through in regard to any of this.
Yeah, 2 years after the fact.
I know one thing. Oh, my wife made an awesome dinner tonight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful, just made, just the lasagna she made, handmade. Oh.
Well, hopefully you ate enough for both of us, because I haven't had anything tonight. So I take that back. I had a handful of peanut M&Ms.
Oh my goodness! I'm just like.
That's what we called breakfast in college.
Lasagna or M&Ms.
M&Ms.
Cold pizza is what I called breakfast in college.
No, in college, whole pizza was a full course buffet.
Breakfast.
That was a buffet.
You had hot pizza at night, then cold pizza in the morning. Beautiful.
Sure did. And I used to work at Pizza Hut, so I used to make stoners.
Stoners?
Yeah, I used to call them stoner pizza. With, with the topping of ham and pineapples. We said, "Yo, let's make me a stoner." I said, "Sure, we'll just light it up with ham and pineapples, plenty of pineapples."
Isn't that called a Hawaiian pizza?
We used to call it the stoner.
I'm pretty sure that's what Hawaiian is now, but I like the stoner a bit better. I might actually buy that if they actually marketed it like that.
Yeah, I was like, because people come in, hey, dude, make me the stoner, and I'm like, okay, and I would just like just whip it up, put the ham on it. First, put a set of pineapples on it, then put the ham on it, then another set of pineapple, another set of ham, and more pineapples to just douse it.
Nice.
And then just cook it in. Oh my god! And we used to call it stoner. Woo, man! I used to eat that while watching Monday Night Raw.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my favorite
in the girls' dorm.
Because they probably had a better television, better cable.
They had a better television, and they were just girls, and they loved wrestling, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
I'm just saying, at that time in college, this is pre-marriage, pre-everything.
Did you still have hair?
Yeah.
They're up there playing with your hair, Charles.
No, they wouldn't play. No, wrestling. No, I kept I had a low Caesar cut, so you know, it was just one of those things where they're like, "Hey, Charles," and it's like, but they used to walk around in the attire, and then some girls would be like, "Oh my god," they was like, "Oh my god, girl, that's just Charles. He's cool." I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, yeah. So yeah, friend zone.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was like, oh yeah, that's just Charles. Don't worry about it. And they're just walking around. Just like,
nice.
Hey Charles, can I get a slice of pizza?
Yeah, my favorite pizza back in the day, and I get it every once in a while still, maybe like once a year now. But there's a place down on OSU campus called Hound Dogs, and you can get ham, pineapple, and we get sauerkraut with the Smoke and Joe crust and the spicy sauce. And like it was phenomenal. You had the sweetness with the pineapple, spice with the sauce, sour with the sauerkraut, and then you had the savory with the ham. I mean, and man, just flavor.
God,
so
help
good.
Your bathroom toilets.
There was a place.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I would go to in Wisconsin that actually had gyro meat, and they would put it on your pizza.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
It actually was really good. Yeah.
So there was in when I was in the Netherlands, Domino's had something called shawarma pizza.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I fell in love, and a shawarma place actually just opened up near my apartment now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, but they don't make pizza like any.
They won't make pizza. No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like any like Middle Eastern type of places I go that do serve shawarma. Like I've never seen one that served pizza, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So there's a definite difference, but I miss that pizza, that and Capsulon.
Nice.
And it was we had one girl at the dorm. Every time I see Ronda Rousey, I just think of her because she was the anchovy girl. Like she always would order just anchovies. Like she's like, Charles, you come? Are you gonna? Because what I would do, I work at Pizza Hut, and then I would just make a bunch of pizzas, for the Monday Night Raw crew. That's what we were called, the Monday Night Raw crew. So, and I would just bring the pizza to the dorm, and I always would make her pizza last, the anchovy girl. Because she was like, yeah, I just want heavy anchovies. And that's all she wanted on the pizza, cheese, and throw the heavy anchovies on it. Yeah.
She likes some saltiness.
Yeah,
I tried anchovies on a pizza one time. I mean, it was okay, but that was good enough for me. Just one time. I'm good, thanks.
Those things were. I used to have to leave that in a separate area. No, I didn't like the smell. I didn't like the smell. Like it was just, and she just, it's like, you got my. I said, yours is specially made. Here you go. I hand hers first, and I just put everybody else's on like the different tables.
As she's like, hey, why is mine in a trash bag? Oh, it contains the freshness.
Because it was just terrible. I mean, I'm like, how you eating that? I'm like, I hope you ain't kissing nobody with that mouth. Sardine girl.
Nice. Let me have some sardines with my anchovy pizza.
I know, it's like but she was just I don't know, just
how about some spam on the side?
I know, right? Probably had that. You never know, but yeah. But,
haven't you ever had musubi? Happy?
No.
It's a spam sushi.
No, thank you.
Oh, they do that in like Hawaii. Because spam is huge there in Hawaii. No shit, really.
I come from the state where there's the spam museum.
I know you guys might think I'm weird for this, but I'm not really a sushi fan. I mean, I've tried it once or twice, but I just never really got into it.
I like sushi as long as it's fish and not like crab or anything like that. Like as long as it's any other weird walking things on the bottom of the ocean. Like I want it to be fish.
What about the eel? It don't walk.
Nah, close enough.
No. One thing here, because one of the sushi places I went to, it looked like they look like little dice to me, like little rope. Like it was in a square, had the rice and everything all bundled up into it. And I'm like, oh, it looks like a pair of dice that you throw.
Yeah.
But it was actually sushi, and I'm like, no, thank you.
That thing's gonna crawl across the table straight into your mouth.
I will. Nothing better than a good spider roll, because those things are awesome.
I even go with spicy tuna rolls.
Soft shell crab, deep fried. Oh, that stuff's good.
So apparently, I just got a text just saying, hey, did you know that you could turn your Android into a two-factor authentication physical two-factor?
What?
Hold on.
Yeah, so you have to plug it into your machine so that will actually unlock.
Or hold on, because I grabbed the article. I just got this text just now.
No, I saw this. So basically, yeah.
Yeah. What's that all about?
You use your Android phone as like a UP key. So basically, as a physical security token for two-factor auth. So you can, starting with Android 7 now, you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I did not know that, and I was like, "What?"
No, it's brand new, so that's why.
Yeah.
It's what?
It's brand new.
It's brand new. Okay. I was like, how am I
Android.
know this?
Because it just happened.
It just happened.
When did Android 7 drop?
Ew. Here's another thing too.
Years ago, because we're on 9.
Oh, that was Nougat. Oh, okay.
Here's another thing too, and I'm going to talk about it as well. On the other spot too. They found several different flaws in WPA3, right?
Yeah, I saw some stuff on that today.
Yeah, man. I grabbed the paper or whatnot, but it was just I was like, wow, it's crazy. Make you rethink and WPA3 is just in its draft phase. Who knows when that's going to come out? That's probably like another year or so from now in draft phase. Because look how long it took for AC to actually develop. In general, that was in draft for a long time, and then they just said, "Oh, you know what? Hey, here you go. 802.11c AC. Here you go."
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know with wireless. I think wireless is the longest. I don't know. It just takes forever for wireless protocols to be blessed. I don't know why. And it's just like, why does it take so long? Why does it stay in draft so long? But I think it's longer than some networking protocols.
Yeah. But too, I see a lot less security. I see a lot more security wrapped around physical than wireless.
Well, wireless was never designed to be secure.
Exactly. And I think they're trying to get it. I mean, they've been trying to get it there, but they're still trying to get it there.
Wireless, and that's the thing. When the protocol from the ground up was never designed to be secure from the ground up, now you're just adding patches on top of patches on top of patches. And here's the thing. Wireless was always looked at as a convenience. It's like, hey guys, we still want to be connected to your network. We just don't want to have to physically plug in. Oh, we're making it convenient for you. Here's wireless.
Yeah.
And then here's the wireless alphabet. Excuse me. Wireless A, wireless B, and
wireless G.
Yeah, wireless G. Now G was a game changer. 54 MIPS. 54 MIPS. That wasn't a true 54 MIPS. Yeah.
What's the one where it doesn't? It's 802.11w is the one where you need to attack it with an evil twin.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But it's just in general, just how wireless has evolved. Because like I said, when I first got into wireless, it was all about the Lucent. It was all about the Lucent Wi-Fi cards, gold Wi-Fi cards with the pigtail extension. Yeah, and it was just like beautiful. And then at that time, I was heavy. I was Kismet guy. I was deep into Kismet and Kismac as well for Mac, but that didn't work out too well.
It's like a Hackintosh.
Yeah, pretty much. So I used to run. I used to run Kismet on Slackware.
Yeah.
And I mean that worked out like a champ. And I used to do the Cantana and stuff like that. And then, like I said, with wireless, I mean, just to see how far it's come and how far it's evolved is just nothing short of amazing. But yeah, this WPA 3, it'll be a draft for all of this year and late into next year, because of the flaws and the bugs that they're finding right now.
I mean, the only things that I run wired are server side. Everything else is wireless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at Amazon. You know, they got their freaking robots everywhere. They're not wired in. They're all running off wireless.
You know something? And here's the thing. And do you guys ever feel like this sometimes? Like you wake up in the morning. No, you wake up in the morning.
I sometimes wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's the afternoon.
When you wake up in the morning, afternoon, night, or whenever, or on Mars or wherever. But when you wake up and, being in tech, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do something that's going to change the world today. And you just have that mentality that what you're doing is going to actually change the world. Do you guys feel that way sometimes? Like
no.
Because
we're all small and insignificant, and eventually we'll die and leave no lasting impression on the world. That's why. Humbug.
Okay.
I do have that thought sometimes. And then I'll stare at a blank, white screen for the next 2 hours.
So so for me, right? Like, and sometimes I don't know. I catch myself doing this, and my wife says I do it too. Because I'll just be. It could be like no music on. It could be like total silence, and then I'll get caught up like the sound of a humming refrigerator, and I don't know. I'll be like in a little trance of that sound, but actually thinking about, okay, what can I do to how am I going to change the world today? How am I going to? What can I get into that's going to make things better, or what do I need to try out today? Or, I'm like a kid in a candy shop, and then I'll pick the piece of candy, and then I'll just go with that for the day. Like, if you guys watched my video this morning, I'm rubied out right now, and that's because
you're off the rails.
Yeah, I am off the rails. I am off the rails in a pythonic way. Hey. I am off the rails because I lost my gems in the pythonic way, and I got pearls in my back pocket and don't understand where I need to go.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if that was a triumphant rap or help, I am stuck.
Yeah. And then when I talk to somebody with the last name Corn, they continue to bash me and then turn me into an ash and then add a Z to the SH of my last name.
Hey, you know what can take care of that ash, right? Lotion.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. But then I go back and then I keep seeing these terms, whether it's X term, A term, or XFCE term. And I just go through so many different transformations some days. Some days I might want to just see. I just want to see, but assemble it in a way.
You're still going. I thought you were actually talking.
Charles, would you try to say that sometimes you just want to be held and told you're beautiful?
Oh, you know what?
Unless you're JavaScript.
I'm just wanting somebody to come in and rap battle you in the same manner.
You know what? And it's crazy because, like you said, unless you're JavaScript, but then I met this wonderful girl the other day named Lua, and she had a cousin named Scala. And I'm like, why are we talking about this? But then they told me to go get Apple and Coffee, last name Script. And I'm just like, where did you guys come from? Well, they come from Apple Country. Go ahead.
Don't sell the bike shop, Orville. Okay.
Don't do what?
Don't sell the bike shop, Orville.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just think of these crazy things. I don't know why. You
gotta bust the rust off, man.
Oh, bust the rust off. I would do.
I gotta
that.
look at that actually.
I would do that in a Dockerish manner, but big data keeps telling me.
All right. What were we even talking about?
Charles,
yeah, changing the world.
Yes.
Changing
Charles,
the world Kubernetes style.
Charles, I actually have 2 tools I need you to write.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're going to do, but I have the names of them. The first tool is called Big Spoon, and the second is called Little Spoon.
Oh.
And they should probably interact in some fashion.
It should, right?
Yeah.
So Docker container enterprise server. Got it.
Yeah, look at that.
It's like the def. That's as close as I can think of doing it.
Yep. And then, of course, let's not forget our favorite meals, peanut butter jelly sandwiches, which is called LVM in my world. And, of course, to add on to it, which I call, tonight I'm just going to call it lasagna because it was so good, ZFS file system. Yeah. So
I'm gonna need visuals because this is getting because I'm just that basic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you diagram this out? We know you got a whiteboard up on the wall.
Oh yes. Hold on. I gotta put the video on. Yes, we gotta diagram. I'm gonna diagram to you tonight on how I learned LVM. Are you guys ready for that?
You know your video's not on?
No, I'm about to turn it on. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Logical volume manager?
Yes, I compare it to a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and this is how I remember how logical volume manager works and functions. Okay, so everybody that's live, pay attention. You're about to learn something about logical volume manager, which to the masses. All right. So what we're gonna do here? Let me see how far I can take this.
Take it to the extreme.
I don't know, but
right.
Google says to stop because you're making Go look bad.
Oh, I'm making Go look bad. I understand. Don't be mad.
Because you kept going.
So anyway, so what we're going to do here, voila. Everybody can see me. So, all right. We have LVM. Okay, so to start off, we have the bottom bun. So, or the bottom piece of the sandwich, and which people can't freaking see that because it's blue. Charles, get your life together, my brother. All right, yeah. Let's see what we got here. That doesn't work. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Knew I had a black marker here somewhere. So anyway, this is the bottom bun, which I call the hard drive itself, which is the physical drive. Okay. You got your physical drive, your physical volume group, if you want to call it that, right? So you got your physical volume group. You name it whatever you want. I just call it the bottom bun. Do you want it to be seedless or not? It's up to you. If you're into sesame seed, it could be a sesame seed bun. It could be a regular. It could be wheat. It could be whatever you want it to be. But it's the physical
a brioche.
Yes. Now that you've got that, now it's time to put on the peanut butter or whatever you want to call it, which is our volume group, your VGS, which is your volume group. Now, with this volume group, like I said, it could be named anything you want. It could be sardines. It could be whatever it is that you like, bologna, salami, whatever you want to call it, right? So now that you got your salami or whatever that you want on it, now let's take it to the LVG, baby, logical volume group, which is, again, an LVM, right? Now, on top of this could be the cheese, the tomatoes, the lettuce, or whatever else that you want to call it, right? Now that you've got all your toppings in place, now, which is the top bun, your file system, which it could be extension 4 that a lot of us use. Some people still might want to use Riser, even though it'll kill you, but that's just another story.
No, it'll kill your mail order wife.
Well, yeah, so some people still might want to use it. Extension 3 or whatever else that you put up, boom, yes. So this, in theory, is how I learned the logical volume manager. I just equated it to food and sandwiches. So again, you got your physical volume group, which is the bottom bun, whether it's sesame or whatever that you're into. And then you got, for me, it's the peanut butter, which is a volume group, right? And then, of course, my jelly, which is my LVM. I love jelly. And then on top of the jelly, which is the bun, is my file system, which I use extension 4 when I'm dealing with Linux. And that is how I learned to understand the logical volume.
Ta-da!
And yes, for people that's watching live, I am not normal. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But if anyone asks me questions related to logical volume group, I can always say, sure. You want me to show you the peanut butter jelly method?
How do you diagram multiple PVs belonging to the same VG?
How do I do it?
How do you diagram multiple PVs belonging to the same VG? Because that's a common occurrence.
Yes. So how do we diagram? If you said if they belong to both of the if you said one local PV belongs to two VGs?
No, well, because you can't do that. You can only assign one volume. You can only assign a PV to one volume group. But if you have multiple physical volumes assigned to one volume group, how do you diagram that?
To one volume group. Okay, so I'm glad. You know what we're gonna call that? We're gonna call that a sub. 6 inch or foot long. Which one do you want?
18 inch.
18 inch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So an 18-inch sub. So that's like putting two pieces of the bread together and making it a sub. And then, of course, you can have all you want. You can dice it up however you want after that. Still same concept. It's just that instead of the regular toast or bread, it's just a sub.
I'm just throwing a wrench at it because I'm like, yeah, I see that one right there. I deal with this shit on a daily basis, so this is nothing new to me.
Yeah. But, for the average person that doesn't, is just getting into Linux, and they're like, I don't understand logical volume manager. This is the way I usually show them, just as simple as pi as this. And then they can get into all of the fuzzies and all the other fun stuff when they want to get really stupid with it.
Well, all the fun shit like mirroring LVs and doing duplication. Oh yeah, that's some low level shit.
That's like buying two singles at Wendy's.
But
mirror.
One thing to note here is that in the Linux and AIX world, for example, it's the same. It's the exact same thing on both.
Yes, it
Solaris with Veritas uses something very similar. They changed the language a bit, but it's the same concept.
Talk to me. Woo! I was a Solaris guy, and I did AIX 5.3 all the way to 6.
Well, you're a Solaris guy. That explains all the brain damage, I think.
Oh! Boom! Look at you going at it hard.
That was brain enhancement. It's a feature,
man.
But
I love.
Get the motion. He got burned.
But even better, when people talk to me about L pars, W pars against zones and LDOMs, I always think like this.
Yeah,
it's the reversal.
It's the same thing essentially, just a
reversal.
Yeah.
So LDOMs are, in Solaris world, a full kernel. It's just a full virtual machine in Solaris world. Because you can run it on the T5220s. It's weird, I still remember that. On the T5220s, they had a little hypervisor that Solaris used to be able to do the virtualization in the first place. So you could have a LDOM, you could have a Solaris 9 LDOM on a T5210 box, T5220 box. Right. So you can have a Solaris 9 and a Solaris 10. And inside of that LDOM, you can have zones. So think of it as like a big spider nest. And then the zones were the little spider children. And they're just all wiggling around and doing all this fun stuff.
And it's the same way with AIX as well. Yep. Well, because you have frames, which are collections of physical boxes.
Ooh, talk to me.
And you can have an LPAR across several. You can have it on anywhere in that frame. So yeah.
And you can have it. Sorry, video. And you can have it where you can also have you can run SUSE Linux inside those LPARs.
Well, you can run Red Hat too. You can run any Linux as long as it has a PPC architecture supported. So yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, you could do AIX and then Linux. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
But
and that's why
it's kind of a bad idea though, because I mean, who really supports PPC? AIX pretty much. It's pretty much AIX, pretty much IBM.
Yeah. But if they, you know what? But for its time, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome, and that hardware was awesome. Amazing.
Oh, the hardware support was phenomenal. I remember working on AIX and like, oh yeah, we want to shut down the motherboard. Okay, shut it off. System's still running. Okay, great. Replace it. All right, online it. Cool. No downtime. Can't do that. Can't do that next x86. That's the
you can't. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't. And that's the thing. But
Let me shut down the motherboard. Holy cow!
Yes.
No, you can like turn off almost everything in the X world except for like the actual like backboard. If you shut that down, yeah, the whole machine goes down.
Yeah, but that's just something that's. Why didn't we keep that?
Because AIX is only run on P series hardware, which is IBM built. So IBM builds the software and the hardware. So the integration is very tight with them. Now, if you look at the x86 architecture, it's a spec, but there's how many manufacturers that are out there. So, and they all vary from it in their own ways because, why do we fucking need standards?
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, you have.
He's got me rocking and reeling here. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, keep going.
Woo!
Well, it's pretty much it, yeah. So there's so many different specs or so much adherence to spec with so much variance. So you can't like tell it to do something and expect it to work. I mean, yeah, we're lucky to actually have hot swappable power supplies and hard drives anymore. That's kind of a lucky thing that works, and even then it's kind of hit and miss. It's mostly up to the manufacturer. It's like you might get a Super Micro, but if you're not running like Dell or HP hardware, you're taking a real big fucking gamble on doing a hot swap.
And that's the thing, again, like sometimes I do miss the old Unixes for those times because like I said, the operating system and the applications that ran on it were pretty rock solid.
Yep.
It's just that the old System 5 way of doing things was just wrong.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Well, I mean, System D is not a lot better. There are certain things I like about it, certain things I absolutely fucking hate about it, but
I love that it boots in parallel. Boom.
Oh yeah, that's nice, but the problem is setting the boot order is like mostly guesswork.
Hell.
Yeah, because SysV has it numbered. So it's basically one from 0 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
In System D, it's all dynamically linked and like shifting.
Yeah.
Oh, pain in the fucking ass.
Kind of like that dumb statement that some people made years ago that Go was going to replace C as a system language. Oops.
Yeah.
Boom. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know I'm hard on these programming languages out here, but I just felt like when I heard that statement, I felt like children were rebelling against their father. And Father C had to lay the big smackdown on him and let him know who was boss. And who still is boss. And now look at them. But Father C had to plant its seed in each and every programming language that exists to this day. So you can't compile, you can't. Go ahead.
That's not programming language Bukaki.
Ooh. Adrian. That's what. How do you feel about it? I'd love to hear.
I don't know. C is like the original language, but that influenced so many more as time went by. Yes. I'm still a fan of Python when I have to write any kind of scripting thing because there's so many libraries and easy shit. And the dividing line, it's about of my age group between whether or not you use Perl or Python.
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 I generally fall on the Python side too, but if you're just slightly older than me,
Perl sucks.
A lot of motherfuckers use Perl.
No. Here's the thing.
Compared to Python.
No. Compared to Python, but here's the thing. Yes. I don't care what nobody says. If it wasn't for Perl's regex, there would be no Python RE. Ruby wouldn't be as awesome as it is. Sorry. Perl regex is awesome. Bar none.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm with that. And I wish that was the standard, but with regular expressions, there really isn't one. Specifically talking about PHP.
You can just take all your Python code, pour it out to C, and still do everything if you want.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's all compiling from, like when you build Python, it compiles in C.
Yeah.
Just writing our startup script to use. We weren't using. I think we're using the testing stuff on our machines in Debian, but then when we send out boxes, we use stable. So like for our penetration testing boxes. Yeah. So getting the newest version of Python onto the machine is a pain, and then also not breaking anything else is awesome.
Yes.
And my pipeline is stuck on a test from Python. It's like, no, stop.
Oh, and I think I said this after we were live last week. But anybody who's watching, if you do any type of dev stuff, .NET Core is cross-platform between Mac, Linux, and Windows, and apparently has been for like 6 years.
Yep.
So that was news to me recently.
For all
So-
14 of you that care, actually, yeah, because who uses .NET anymore?
Well, hang on a second. Hang on.
Quite a few.
Hang on 1 second, because this actually plays into it, and I think it's using this. Let me look it up. Have you guys ever heard of Silent Trinity?
Oh no, I've definitely not heard anything that was silent.
Okay. No. Okay.
I mean, you said it. I had to take it there.
Fine. All right. So Silent Trinity, since we're talking about the .NET Core and all that other stuff and .NET Runtime, is a exploitation tool that uses all of the it leverages the .NET Core on any system that has it running to then have. So you would set up a server using Silent Trinity, and then you would run commands using and basically just create essentially netcat scripts to call back to that server, and then you have shells on those boxes from that using the .NET Core in the .NET runtime. It's super cool.
But it's still all self-contained, though, right?
What do you mean by self-contained?
Like not require. Like if you were to throw it on a Windows system, it's not going to be calling like DLLs outside of its own environments. You know, not going to be calling DLLs from Windows and stuff like that. It's going to be everything needed is going to be within that package. It's not using the computer's resources or anything.
Here's an idea. So you have the 3.7 server that's running this. You have the staging. So it creates IronPython, and a couple of other things. It then throws out those stagers and then runs the code on the machine. So it runs those actual DLLs using the C# that's on the system itself. Mm-hmm. And then it then calls back out and asks for any jobs that it needs to do and runs those in Python. The job comes back in Python, and then it'll eventually execute the job and then give that output back. A lot of times you can use this to make shells. There's a couple other modules as well. This is the same guy that wrote, I think it's Empire. Hang on a second. Pretty sure CrackMap, Death Star, and I think Empire as well. So this is his new tool. So yeah.
Nice.
Super nice. And that's what I was actually referring to when I said Python compiles in C, and I'm stuck compiling it. Because all the tests. That's right. And I think it's actually hanging on one test because it's trying to connect out to Python because it's running on test socket. So I think it's trying to make a call out to the socket, or trying to make a call out to Python itself, or python.org or something, create a socket, and then it's not getting it back, so it's just getting blocked, so it just keeps retrying it.
Fun.
But yeah, cool tool. It's in development right now, but you can still use it. Right now, it's at a good spot.
I mean, once it's on GitHub, it's like, is it really in development?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but once it's on GitHub, it's like for public release. Because you don't post like, I've been working on it for 5 days. It doesn't do shit on GitHub. Nobody does that. You know, it does not work. Like, it won't compile. It won't do anything. You know, you actually post. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just never
run into those.
try finding POCs. It's like, yeah, I'll do that. And then you're like, why is it like you just have the paper and then the code for it is just like, yeah, it doesn't work. It's like, yeah, there's an issue with it. I don't know what's going on and I don't care anymore. It's like, what? Why? No, I need this. I want this. I need this. Like now.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, cool tool.
Cool. Anybody else got anything else for tonight?
Not really. Want to go off air?
Sure.
All right, folks. I may go to sleep here for long because I got some stuff to do for work tomorrow, and I also got some tax shit to sign, and got a bunch of running around to do.
Yay, taxes.
Oh yeah, that is a good reminder. Anybody in the U.S., you got what, 5 days?
5 days.
I finally started paying my financial advisors to do my taxes because the shit got too complex. It got sickening.
Yes. Yep. Once you get to a certain level, I mean, stock investments and this and that, like, yeah, it definitely gets aggravating.
My service on the side, you know.
Yeah.
Like Gigolo out, you know, it gets complex.
Yep.
All right, folks. Everybody have a good night. We're gonna go off air, and then people on the cast will hang out for a bit. But I'll catch y'all next Wednesday.
Later.
Bye-bye.